from the office of Dr. J. Steinweg, Miskatonic University Experimental Psychology Department. My dearest Dr. Anastasia Carstairs, thank you for your very kind letter regarding your progress with Dr. Professor Jeremy Winter. I must make additional thanks for your frank and candid manner. You write both personally and profoundly of your experience, both as an analyst and as a dreamer. And for this, I am most grateful. It makes reply to you the easier. As to the matter of Mr. Professor Jeremy Winter and his experience with the flying creatures in the wood, I see no reason why they should not be considered equal angels by way of hallucinatory experience, and it is my professional opinion that when we think we see angels, we are of course seeing a manifestation of our own angelic selves. The fact that they can also present as demonic in their nature is a representation of the Satan, the Lucifer morning star within us, yeah? The power of such metaphysical visions is most profound. What intrigues me most is that you say your own uncle had a form of divine vision at this very same vacation home in the woods, and it was most like the professor's in certain details. This is very unusual, and I wonder if there is some form of herb or plant that might possess hallucinatory properties somewhere in the vicinity of the house in the woods, no? The fact that you so openly admit to having had what we call the waking dream, in which you too saw these many armed beings descending from the stars, buzzing like the demons, but also, as you say, graceful and sophisticated as the seraphim, well, this is possibly suggestion, as you yourself say, or it is also possibly an environmental effect, yes? I have heard that the Native Americans have a deep understanding of the flora and the fauna in the area. Perhaps this was a part of the Professor Winter's work up at the old Indian burial site that you mentioned. I am very sad to say I will not be up to Maine before your sabbatical begins, and I will not be able to look into this matter more carefully. But I am most delighted to hear that you will have time in Europe, and working, of course, with Sabine Salien, who is not known to me personally, but I hear marvelous things of her, in particular regarding the very edge of analytical practice. Thanks to an association with a colleague, Dr. Johannes Bergman, whose expertise you might wish to draw on, it occurs to me, for he is most interested in the paranormal as a focus for the psychological projection of the self. But it was through Dr. Bergman I myself have found a position at Arkham University as guest lecturer. Should you find yourself back in New England at any time soon, I would be most interested to continue discussion of your fascinating case, and the case of the professor, and your own analytical journey. In the meantime, I encourage you not to see too great a connection between your own dream of the experience and that of your patient and your relative. It is easy to assimilate the details of another's story into our own, and I suspect this has been what has occurred regarding your great-uncle. The other option might be to question the local peoples as to their understanding of the ancient place you speak of. There are the old places of the earth and of the sky that we do not venture into lightly, Dr. Carstairs. The dark corners, if you will. And it is so with the mind, I think it is fair to say. I hope you tread carefully and send you all my best wishes for your journey. Yours most sincerely, Dr. Jonas Steinweg, Guest Chair of Psychology, Arkham University, Massachusetts.
The Apocalypse Players present The House in the Woods by Gary Pilkington. A Call of Cthulhu scenario, adapted for 7th edition by Joseph Chance. Copyright Grenadier Models and Chaosium. Starring Dan Wheeler as Assistant Professor Flight Lieutenant Charles Chuck Lohman. Jeany Spark as Female Postmaster Natasha Rolyova. Danann McAleer as local lobster mogul and supplier Allagash Bunyan. And Joseph Chance as everybody and everything else.
What? I don't understand what... I don't...
And you do not understand what you are seeing.
So they're in the wall, not through the window?
They appear to be in the wooden wall.
And are they light?
What is that?
Lines of light?
They appear to be glowing slightly orange.
What is it? What is that?
Is anyone going to examine this more closely?
Yeah, I'm gonna just whip out one of my hooks from my fly catching and say, glowworms are they're fucking useful for this shit. And I move over. I don't really think it's a glowworm, but I just want to get close enough to see if it's is this a refraction of the light? Is this some sort of optical illusion, or is there some sort of glowing...
The light is the last of the orange light, so it does seem weirdly coincidental. But they don't look like glowworms to you. They look like long, thick woodworms.
Could I do a biology check?
Careful, don't touch them.
Are you going to examine them?
I'd like to go and examine them and do a biology check.
Natasha's holding her
I'm
ground.
going to look at them.
The two men are going closer.
I'm not going to go near. No.
So you're going to have to lean in that little bit closer, I think, if you're going to use your biology.
Yeah.
Could you roll your luck?
I mean, I'm not looking for...
I have passed my luck.
You've passed your luck. You've got close. You've got close. They do not look normal. These look like woodworms that have swollen in size and appear to be carrying some kind of orange fungal growth on their backs. At which point...
So it's like a biophosphorescence. It's not like...
At which point,
catching them.
they seem to be exploding. But because you passed your luck, could you give me a dodge check?
Yeah.
All of us.
No, just those two.
Just these days.
Yes, I've passed my dodge. That's a couple of good rolls.
I fail my dodge.
Okay,
no.
so what happens? What happens to Assistant Professor Charles Lohman? Where does he dodge to?
So he dodges. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what am I dodging. The exploding worms.
Yeah, there's a sort of as the fungal back of this thing bursts into an orange spray of mist.
So I think he just jumps back. He just jumped straight back to avoid the.
Yeah.
He could see it pulsing.
For me, my instincts immediately tell me to. I've seen puffballs, I've seen things do this before, and you don't want to inhale it, but I'm just too late. I think I slip.
You go back.
On the scarf or whatever.
You slip.
Yeah.
Maybe it's on the stray edge of that dust sheet. So you've gone straight back, Lohman, like back onto your elbows on the floor, scrabbling away, but then back up again.
If
you're
needs be, sort of scampering backwards, stumbling.
Yeah. So you're still able to move. Don't get me wrong. I'm not making you incapacitated, but you've slipped a bit, Bunyan, and it seems and it sort of swirls through, and you feel a little bit just kind of touch your face. Could you give me a Constitution check?
Oh, I would love to. It's fucking rubbish, my Constitution. So let's have a look. Well, I got a 12 on a 35.
Very good. Excellent. Which means you withstand the physical aspect of the spore. Could you give me a power check?
Yeah. My power's better, but I feel like that's not going to...
It's more crucial. This one's more crucial.
36 on a 60 power.
Very good. A pass. Exciting. So could you mark down...
I can make it hard.
Could you mark down for me? I'm going to do it for the same. But could you say,
okay, on
a scrap piece of paper, spore 1.
Oh no.
Oh fuck.
And you begin to have this insane sensation that something's moving inside your face. But then you do that, and you begin to realise, oh, it's okay. You're totally in control of that, right? Of course you would be.
That was just me.
That's crazy.
But then you begin to become aware that it's gifting you the capacity to be able to understand what it has seen. So you just rolled your power check was a 36. Is that right? Have I made that up?
Yeah. Well, my power was 30, and I got a 36. Yeah. Oh no, my power's 60.
60 or 36. So you nearly got a hard success. You got a solid success. Okay. So you gain 1 Cthulhu mythos. You lose 1 permanent sanity, and you also lose 1 sanity. I think the involuntary action is well. What is the involuntary action? Do you think it's rubbing your face wildly, or is it kind of going? Oh! Well, it's like this kind of. Is it a verbal thing, or is it a sort of physical thing? Or?
I started trying to sort of. Yeah, I'm trying to scratch the side of my skin on my face and sort of be like, Jesus Christ, this thing's got into me. But I'm fully aware, right? I'm cognizant.
Very much so, very much.
I feel like this has given me passage into
and you get
things.
You begin to get a sense that this whole wall area, you begin to see it much more clearly now for the first time. It's been very cleverly covered with the spore. And the spore has covered where the shotgun was fired at the door. And there was all this damage done to it. But it's been covered. But also, what you begin to understand is when the spore was put in, it was supposed to stay dormant and sleeping. But actually it's making it didn't realise the woodworm was in there. So then it found then we found the woodworm.
Latch onto the woodworm.
So we have become of the woodworm. And now we are of you, but you are the master. And that sort of sense that you kind of go, what? Did it just try and talk to me?
Yeah. Who's got a fucking mobile phone? I need to talk to Jeremy. I need a guy up here.
Can you give me a sanity check?
Oh yeah, I think that's more than reasonable.
Because it's just that last sort of sense that it might have tried to talk to you. Meanwhile, the other two of you, this cloud is sort of drifting down, and you're backing away from it into the back towards the kitchen and the couch naturally.
I somehow have a hard success on my sanity.
Perfect, and you can now physically scamper back as well, away from the residue, and you can see these sort of worms moving in the wall now. And it seems so obvious that they were there, but
Jesus Christ!
Can we all now see?
Yeah. Now that it's there, you can kind of.
Is it obvious they're coming from a certain direction? Like, are they moving up?
No, it was just that.
Sideways
they're just
or
sort
down?
They're moseying around on the wall, being themselves.
Existing. Right.
Could I do a Cthulhu mythos roll?
Yes, you can, because two of you do have a rank in Cthulhu mythos.
Well, I now have 1 point in Cthulhu mythos.
Actually, all three of you now have a rank in Cthulhu.
Which I'm very proud of.
Quite close, but given my luck, I'm not going to spend anything on it. No, this means nothing to me. These little weird orange worms mean nothing to me.
I think in terms of understanding things further, not so much.
No.
This is very unusual, and all three of you are kind of galvanised in that moment. You're realising it really is. There's like half an hour to go. I think 15 minutes to check it out, and you found the gun cabinet. It's still locked, but 15 minutes to check out the house. I'd say there's half an hour of light left.
So, can I just check? These woodworms that are clearly infected with the essence of insanity. No, these weird little things. Do we get the impression they're throughout the house, or just in that one specific area? Are they like just moving in the wood in general?
Your deeper understanding of it is there was damage to that part of the wall.
Right.
But I think all three of you are beginning to become aware that there's a sort of peppering of shot on that right-hand side, on the left-hand side of the door.
Is there anything that can be done with, like,
from outside or inside?
Yeah.
Almost as if you are in the exact position where you discharged a shotgun.
Oh, from inside the house.
At something that was in the doorway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so it doesn't look like a suicide, it looks like...
And missed. Or hit.
Right.
It looks like an attack on something trying to get in.
Yeah, I was
Doesn't
wondering whether
it?
it was up against the wall slightly nearby that looked like more of a suicide with shotgun, but it looks
could be
more
that.
like
It could be
the
that.
door frame has been
But why behind the door?
peppered.
It does seem a bit weird.
Yeah, well, quite.
Also, the distance is such that it's not someone who's standing back from the.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's up in a way. It looks like it's into.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've had lobsters talk to me in the past. I mean, I'm probably
Haven't we
verging on dementia anyway. So I'm gonna. I sort of don't mind the fact that that's happened. I'm gonna go back out and just say, I'm gonna open up downstairs, see if there's anything more down there. Stay away from those glowy little bastards.
I say we should all head down to that root cellar.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not staying here on my own. I come with you.
Have we? Can I just double check? Have we successfully looked upstairs, like sort of thoroughly, or was it just a cursory sort of glance?
Apologies
Yeah,
for,
okay,
for the
good.
slightly
No.
No, there's nothing to
backhanded
see.
way of saying there's nothing upstairs. Downstairs is the gun
Yeah.
cabinet, and you found the other thing.
Can I
But
try
we
picking?
sort of, yeah.
Can I try to pick the lock of the cabinet?
You will have to go through.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's more
no, you
imperative-
could do
it's
that
more imperative
because
that we get away
yeah,
from these.
you can
spores.
go. Yeah, you're fine to do that without being endangered by those spores, as far as you're concerned. You go through to the cabinet. Could you give me a? It's a relatively simple lock, so I'm going to give you a bonus on this. It's a padlock.
While Natasha's doing that, I kind of wanted to just actually had a sudden thought, and I just want to take one of the little poultices out of my bag and move it towards the worms on the wall, so at arm's strength. So I'll wait and see what that roll does, and then
No, it's simultaneous. As you do that, the worms
Yeah.
begin to climb upwards.
oh,
Oh,
away from
that's upsetting. It was a strong success.
Click, it opens. There are some shotguns inside. 3 shotguns. They're all quite old school. There's no pump action. There's a 2-bore. There's a 2-barrel and 2 single barrel. A double barrel and 2 single barrel. There's ammunition. Could you give me a spot hidden?
Yeah, I'm very, very strong. A 3 on 60.
Oh wow.
You spotted something. Because it's dark in this room now. The western light is fading. And yet you see the mucal furring on one of the guns. Literally as you're about to put your hand on it. And it gives you the edge as the spores burst. So I'll give you a dodge with a bonus. And I'll let you grab one of the other shotguns. And I'll let you grab the double barrel shotgun for free.
Thank you.
But you have to roll your dodge
Got some fucking
Yep.
with a bonus die.
bring some antibacterial
Yeah.
gel.
Oh wow! I got a 1 on a 42, and then a bonus.
Yes.
8.
You don't even need to. Oh my Christ! You're rolling amazingly. You're rolling both
Fucking
dice.
hell.
You're rolling both dice. You're not just rolling one die. Right?
No.
It's like a 0-1 and a 0-8.
Yeah.
Awesome. Amazing rolls, but you only needed the 0-1 for your dodge. Technically, that's a supreme pass. So you flip like a gymnast
Like a ninja.
out of the way.
Sweet God.
This is the mighty rolls, and
Love
you
it.
have a double barrel shotgun, and the spore sort of splats down along the side of the bear. But it was reaching quite a long way out of that. Almost like it was a kind of.
Do we see this happen?
No, because you guys are heading towards the. You guys are.
Of course, yeah.
But she does stagger back out with a shotgun.
Just she's taken one shotgun.
Yeah.
Double barrel, baby.
Double barrel, nice.
I don't know if you
Is
can
it
use.
loaded?
I don't
Can I
know if
check?
you can use a shotgun. Yeah, it's loaded.
Sweet.
In fact, actually, I'll give you D6 shells.
Oh, thank you.
I've given you. So you managed to grab 6 shells as you went out.
Thank you very much.
Whether you can use a shotgun or not, I don't know. I think it's time that we move to the Carstairs Vacation Home root cellar.
Yeah, I think it is.
On the way down, because I can't think of any other situation where I would ever use this, I would like to do an agronomy roll to find out what sort of crops might be kept in the root cellar in this part of the country.
Yes, I think the roots that are available here, people do grow potatoes, and they do grow carrots, Swedes.
I failed my agronomy roll.
The Dutch. They also sometimes grow Scots, occasional Irish.
While you're failing it, it's because I shout out "nerd" in the lowest voice possible.
But
It's my best skill, and I failed it.
I think it's more that you're thinking that you're going to find the root cellar in there, and actually what you find is it's kind of like a trash hole.
Oh.
It's the detritus of 100 years of stuff. And like, have a little peek at the map. You can see that wrecked dresser, an old sideboard, some large stones. You get the impression that it's very old, this cellar. It's probably older than the cabin itself, which
Weird.
has clearly had some modifications and possibly has been rebuilt. Could all of you give me a listen check?
Oh yeah.
Danann, you get a bonus.
Oh, thanks, mate.
I passed.
I should say Allagash gets a bonus.
It was very good that I got bonus because that one was awful.
Pass for
36. Oh,
Flight
man.
Lieutenant Assistant Professor Lohman. So it's Lohman who hears the squeak. It's very high pitch. It's very strange. It's not like a normal rat squeak. But
Well, rats don't squeak.
Well, there's a sort of chittering sound that you think might be a rat.
Squirrels?
Well, it sort of might remind you of a squirrel or a very intelligent rat. You're not too sure. But it comes from... So if you were to head due north in the map, you'd be at the steps underneath the doors into the root cellar. But just to the left is an old wooden sideboard
Yes.
with shelves on, just holding crap as far as you can tell, paint pots and brushes and old mats and things. But you get the distinct impression that it might not be fixed to the wall, and there are some shadowy gaps behind it.
Nothing ever good came from a shadowy gap.
No. That's what my mum told me.
Is that where I heard the skittering?
The other two of you see him looking at this. Yes. You heard this
What
sort
have
of
you seen?
weird...
What are you looking at?
I draw my Colt revolver
Oh, yes.
and I say...
Do the others do the same with their guns?
I see when I see him draw his
well.
Colt revolver, I cock the shotgun.
I say to Lohman, you better with a big gun or a small gun?
I have to say, I ain't no great shakes with either. I'm better with my fists, but
I see.
But given a choice, I'm better with a handgun like this.
Okay. So I leave him with his handgun and I just cock my rifle that I've got over my shoulder, that I've had the whole time, just slung over my shoulder.
And I just say, I think it's just maybe squirrels or rats or something behind that, but I heard some movement behind that sideboard.
Right. I'm just going to lean
As
down
time
and
has
pick up
gone
like
on, I've sounded more and more southern. I think it's just this being like back in the action. It's like taking me right back to my days in the, training.
I'm
in the
gonna blame
in the Air
you
Force.
for the inconsistency of my main accent. It's because every time I talk to you, I go into Louisiana. I'm gonna pick up a bit of brick or a bit of wood that's right next to me and just fucking shot put it at the thing he's talking about. See if I can get some reaction from rats or whatever.
Ooh, could you give me a strength or a throw roll? If it's a throw, I'll give you a bonus.
Yeah, good shout. What shall I go to throw? I'll go throw. Fuck it. Right, where's me dice? Where is throw? What's the alphabet again?
Yeah, it's hard to explain abstractly, but it's
Bottom
towards
right.
the end.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's no good. Bonus die, you say?
Bonus die, if you're using throw.
Oh, 17.
Sweet.
On a 20 throw.
On a 20,
So it's
on 20.
just a success.
Yeah. So you punch a hole through this relatively cheap-looking shelf, and it goes in deep. You can see a black hole, and you hear a
Mother?
exactly. And can I just double check who's holding what? We've got a Colt in the flight lieutenant assistant professors,
and a flashlight, like proper.
yeah,
like,
which would be needed down here. Flashlight. So
Mulder-
you've got the lights
Mulder
on.
and Scully.
Mulder and Scully style. Love it. And also, he's got the
double-barrel
military
shotgun.
training. Double barrel shotgun.
These
What's
mimes are great.
Can you remind me what your skill is with a double barrel shotgun?
25%.
25%. Sweet. But very, very profound up close. Does a lot of damage up close. That bad boy.
All I've got actually loaded up is my 22 bolt action, so it's not so great, but it's your standard rifle.
But it's a rifle rather than a shotgun, so it's going to be at a penalty in close quarters. Hence your stone throw. But you did do the stone throw first. So actually, I'm going to What's your luck?
Mine.
Yeah,
62.
it's all right. You failed. It's fine.
Good.
No, you weren't to know. So you hear scattering and chittering noises, which are unpleasant. And again, in that sort of atavistic, an old instinct rises deep within you. You suppress the urge to vomit, but something sickening, and also a sweet smell
I hate that.
that Lohman firmly recognises as the one that he briefly got the scent of earlier.
May I do another biology check to see, or chemistry check to see if I recognise that smell any more specifically, or if I missed my chance because I failed it upstairs?
Do it while at the same time, but it will stop you from doing anything else.
Okay, I won't do it. I'm not that bothered.
Yep. Okay.
It's the smell of a crackhead pissing onto your warm popcorn at the cinema.
Oh.
Beautiful description, and probably actually extremely accurate. Except you've never smelt
Horribly
that before. Except maybe now we all have. It's the power of suggestion. So we dexterity order is what I'd like at this point.
Okay.
Can anyone give me a 75?
No.
My dex is 40. It's not very good.
Can anyone give me a 60?
55.
55?
Mine is also 55.
55. So who has the higher power out of you two?
My power is also 55.
My power is 60.
Right, so Natasha Rulyova moves first. Natasha, you can hear the skittering of rodent feet working towards the shelving as it's sort of tottering, it's sort of rocking slightly, and there's this gaping hole in it, and a sweet miasma smell is coming through.
Yeah, pretty gross.
What would you like to do? Physically, rather than mentally. Or you can mentally do something and then not do something physically, if you prefer.
I mean, I want to stamp on them or destroy them somehow.
You can't actually see them yet.
Okay.
You're pretty sure they're behind that shelving unit.
Can I blow a couple of holes in it?
You could shoot the shelving unit, yeah.
Can I fire my shotgun?
It's a point blank range. It's a prone target, so I'm going to give you a bonus die.
Yeah.
25% chance of hitting it.
Okay, hang on.
I think psychologically you have a slightly strange moment where you think, is this what it was like for whoever was here? Is this what it was like for Jeremy Winter?
Done it, mate. Bloody done it.
You've successfully shot
Smashed it.
Got a 12.
a stationary shelving unit which is standing 5 yards away.
5 yards away.
Range.
So the sound is deafening. It's ringing in all of your ears. But you annihilate that shelving unit. And in the distance, just outside the building, you can hear Buster start to bark. And you all kind of remember the forest all around you and above you in that moment. And then his barks die away. As the sort of debris of it falls and the scattering, that's when you see the orange dust coming out. Could you all give me a dodge, but at a hard?
Oh, fuck
You
off.
have to get half of your dodge.
Fuck off.
Whoa, fuck you.
Dodge.
I've got Lohman at a fail, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm sensing Loam's on a
That's
fail.
fucked.
50,
Right. Yeah, I'm on a fail as well.
Bunyan on a fail.
26. I'm on a fail. Yeah.
All three of you fail.
Yeah.
So everyone,
I'm just huffing this in.
everyone
I'm
takes
like,
spore 1. Bunyan, you're now on spore 2. Exciting times.
oh shit! Yeah.
Could you all give me a Constitution check? As you're staggering back, waving your hands through the stuff.
I'm fine.
Okay, I failed my Constitution.
Also, Jeany, could you give me a D6? One six-sided die for the number of rats you've just
Yes.
killed.
D6 5.
Ooh, that's brilliant.
Oi.
You killed 5 rats. Okay. So bodies of rats have splattered
That's
as well.
spread.
And Constitution success.
Constitution success. Did anyone fail their con?
Yeah, unfortunately he did.
Allagash.
Allagash. So could you give me a 1d6 divided by 2, a d3 for damage, d3 hit points.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait, 1. So
1. You lose 1 hit point for
So-
the intensity. This stuff, you sort of feel this kind of choking sensation in the lungs, and then it softens and it dissipates. And now you roll your power check. And could all of you roll your power for me?
oh yeah, my power's
Oh,
actually
dear.
better.
And then you.
Oh yeah,
Who's failing?
Success.
hard success.
I failed.
So success for Rulyova.
Yeah.
2
Hard success.
hard success, but it's a power fail. Okay, so hard success. What was your Rulyova? What was your success like? Was it
51 to a 60.
okay? So it's solid, fine. But a hard success is
I got
interesting.
27
Okay.
on a 60.
Ooh, hello.
Oh, don't mind if I do.
So I'll deal with that one first. Bunyan, you get the sensation of the spore interconnecting with the spore that was already residing in your face, and the stuff that's now in your lungs seems to be interconnecting with it. And you begin to understand that the rats ran upstairs to investigate the remainder of bits of things that were left behind when they removed the body of Professor Winter. And you get these shadowy figures sort of shambling around in the room, kind of vast kind of creatures to you with multiple arms. Could you roll your sanity check? Could you roll a sanity check?
Yes, please. So they're not rats, they're pigs. Oh, 8.
8?
So I succeed on
Fine,
sanity.
absolutely fine. So the spore inform you that they were then employed into the wall and eaten by the rats, and the rats have now become infected by the spore and have travelled into the lead rat. You're beginning to become aware of the lead rat, which is lurking up in the recess, and you begin to see, all three of you begin to see there's a tunnel space ahead. You get an intense sense of bond, Natasha, to Bunyan. As he's feeling this, Loman, you begin to feel physically sick, and you begin to become aware that there might be something which is unpleasant about this spore. The other two don't seem to be affected, but you seem to be really you feel a bit challenged by it. It's not physically hurting you, but you feel sort of emotionally and mentally challenged.
Well, it feels like maybe this is a bit late to be doing this, but I don't know. Well, I wait till we're in Dex order, aren't we?
Well, no, I think it's fair to say that there's a lull there. So whatever you want to.
Lull,
And also, you are next in the next order.
I would like to get something out. I think I've got a little first aid kit. I'd like to get a bit of bandage out of the first aid kit and wrap it around my nose and mouth to form sort of some kind of rudimentary mask. I should have done this some time ago, but I don't want to inhale any more of this horrible, vile shit.
I think it was fair to say I tried to do that on my last go that I failed, so I think my instinct has been to try and pull my scarf up as well. But at some point during this next bit, I think, that's a very good shout.
Is it fair to say that all three of you cover your faces? Yeah. So you all cover your faces, and that's when the rats attack.
Of course it is.
But I'm effectively going to give it to you that it's a new round, and they aren't necessarily surprising you, nor are you surprising them.
Okay.
So they attack as a pack. And could you give me a? I think it's probably a group luck. No, it's an individual luck roll. So could you all give me a luck roll?
Yeah.
It's a fail. Of course, it's a fail.
Hard success.
Hard success.
Hard success.
So
27.
Loman, these rats aren't right. There's something wrong about these rats.
Yeah.
And unfortunately you spot it. As the two that are charging across, the remnant of the... you get the impression they're defending their nest, which is an unpleasant sense of sympathy that you suddenly feel for them.
Yeah.
But Bunyan, you become absolutely convinced they're defending their nest, and indeed... They are being told to defend their nest by one who rests behind as the last resort.
King rat.
One who walks behind the rose.
But Loman, you unfortunately see the second one's head, and it's like, you know, when a rose bloom goes past the edge and spreads out, and kind of the petals start to break open and down.
Yes.
And you see the stamen. This thing's skull seems to be doing that to it. It seems to have grown out of its forehead into a sort of blown, like a blown petal,
Oh my Christ.
like a bloom gone wrong, a sweet, overripe bloom. So I'm going to give you a simultaneous shot with your gun and a sanity roll. So could you roll your gun first? Because you were primed and ready.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide whether I want to fire it 3 times or just once.
Yeah, I mean, maybe... Well, I'll tell you what. Let's see if you hit with the first one. And let's see if you fail with your sanity roll. Because maybe that might affect...
I don't actually think I need to check that. I think I fire it off 3 times. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so would you like the gunshots first?
Yes, if you could give me those 3...
Okay, so my first shot. Bang! I miss. My second shot. Bang! I miss.
Jesus.
Third shot.
This is unlucky.
Bang! I miss.
Shit.
And my sanity roll. Bang! I fail. I mean, I've done a lot of bad rolls, but that little sequence of failed luck, 3 failed shots.
That was really unlucky. And there was
bad.
none of those you could have spent any luck on.
I mean, it makes narrative sense, but it's very unfair.
No.
None of
No,
it.
it
None of
does.
it. One of those shots. No.
It was terrible.
It was all bad.
It was all bad. So it's panic over on the Flight Lieutenant Assistant Professor Charles Loman's front. He's shooting at these damn fucking rats, but they're just coming towards him relentlessly. And I think in the chaos, inevitably, you do lose your 1 sanity. Yeah, and I think the involuntary action is you grab one of the rats as it sort of tries to bite you, and you smash it against the wall in a moment of feral anger, and of course, unfortunately, the bloom explodes.
I got my bandage on.
You've got your bandage on, so I'll give you a Constitution bonus roll, but there's no dodge.
Constitution bonus.
Oh God.
Yeah, I succeeded on... I didn't even need the bonus.
Yeah, great. So there's no damage. And could you give me a power roll?
Yeah.
There's
No bonus.
There's no bonus for the power.
Oh, passed by 1.
It's huge. It's huge. Okay. So that rat is dead, and the other one sort of skitters away in terror and is no longer involved either. Because of the effectiveness of the shotgun, there's only 4 rats left. I'm going to go 2 for 2. They do seem to be moving in a slightly frighteningly organised fashion, sort of desperate, but like they've split between the party. So it is... I'm going to go back to Natasha, because she does have a higher dexterity. You've got these 2 rats in front of you.
Yeah, man.
You've only used one of your shots from your shotgun. You didn't have to use both.
Fucking low.
You don't need to. There's one bullet in there still, and you fired one of the barrels. Click.
Are these 2 rats close together?
I mean, that's a range in the range you're at. You can hit them both.
Sweet. Let's do that.
So you can but you'll need that shotgun roll, and because they're moving, you don't get your bonus. So it's a 25% chance.
Ah!
Fucking hell.
You can spend luck.
Ooh, 21.
Oh my god, you are on fire. So these 2 rats disintegrate about 3 yards away from you, and the bloom just kind of scatters about, but you stagger away from it, wafting with the barrel, and Allagash is far enough away, and thankfully so is Loman. Bunyan, your defense against these 2 charging rats.
Charisma.
All
The lobster,
Hey,
you should have
guys.
seen this
Air
lobster.
and charisma.
Hey,
You
what
call
do
yourselves
want?
rats?
I'm after the. You hate the crustaceans, so do I. Let's get them.
We can work together.
How are they doing?
No,
How are the kids?
Actually,
How are the
as
kids?
you think
Hey,
that,
that's funny.
as you think that, Bunyan, it does make a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah,
The crustaceans are
it does.
the ones that dwell
Yeah,
deep. The ones that dwell deep. You begin to realize.
the 2 big ones.
Could you roll your
they haven't
Cthulhu
shed in
mythos?
years.
Could you roll your Cthulhu mythos for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll it now. They haven't shed in years.
1. He's got Cthulhu
They've
mythos.
got got carapaces bigger than a palace. Well, I rolled a 61 on my 1 Cthulhu mythos.
Spend the luck. Spend the luck.
Spend the luck.
No. It's fair to say that you don't quite get it, but there's some sort of weird sense of something about as soon as you say crustaceans and you're thinking about the pure lobsters, you're thinking about that big blue lobster,
Yeah.
which you've always exaggerated the exact size of it and the nature of the battle, but it was
but have I?
fucking massive.
I sort of have, but have I?
But also, it was wrong. It was a wrong 'un, and these are wrong rats.
It-
You don't focus on it too clearly.
Yeah.
You try to kill them, hit them, dance out of it.
Well, I mean, all I got to me is my rifle, so
Let's do it.
although I have this sense of family towards them, like, hey, if someone was coming into my place and shooting at my family, I'd fucking come out and defend myself at this level.
Is this the semi-automatic one?
We're in this game.
Can you
No,
fire 2
no.
rounds?
I don't. No, this is
no, it's not
fucking.
that, yeah.
This is only a 22 bolt action rifle.
Yeah. So I think it's
So it's specific to 1 rat.
I think it's 1 rat. You're gonna nail one of these
Yeah.
rats.
So let's give it a go. 46 on a 50.
That's
So I do hit the fucker.
Yeah, and you annihilate it, and the bloom
Yeah.
of the spores goes up, and the other one scarpers in terror, runs away into the detritus. So we've got 2 rogue rats, which everyone's clocked.
Yeah.
And we've got annihilated. We've killed 4 of them, and there's a sort of settling of dust, a slightly unpleasant settling of dust now, and all of you become aware, because all of you have now been exposed to the spore of the leader. She's in this crawl space underneath,
Fuck.
and she's just sitting there in the nest.
Can we see
So-
her?
So you stick the flashlight in there, and you see this massive rat.
How massive is massive?
We're talking the size of a rabbit.
Oh, okay. Not the size of a human.
Oh, okay.
No,
But that's almost
I mean,
worse.
it's
if
the size
sort
of a
speaking
domestic
to us.
cat, really. You know.
it's a London. It's
Yeah.
a London rat. It's a
Yeah.
London.
Yeah.
It's a London overground rat. You know those
The
those
ones you see
that,
jumping out of the bins outside the Ibis
Kilburn.
Hotel.
It's a
when
Kilburn
they're having
rat.
a
yeah,
Yeah.
where you can sort of hear
Yeah.
their buttocks land.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I'm
You
so
hit them
Dan. I'm
twerking
so
around
sorry.
the car
I'm so sorry,
park.
but I hate them, so that's why it appealed to me.
Yeah.
So this thing sat there, but of course the thing, unfortunately, that all 3 of you see, but Loman doesn't need to roll for this because he's already seen this in small version. But its face is mutated. And it's kind of swollen into the skull has spilled out over itself, over the thick fur.
The fuck?
But worse still, the jaw is distended, and you're pretty sure that there's the teeth above, the kind of twisted canines, but then mandibles seem to be under the bottom of the jaw.
Yeah.
I dated this guy.
You went out with this guy.
Yeah.
And now you're going to have
His
to
name's
do.
Joseph.
You're going to have to do a sanity check as you all train your guns on this thing.
Shit.
And also the torchlight.
Shit.
Loman, you get the edge. Loman, you see as these two are doing their sanity check, you see beyond it an interesting crawl space with something at the end glistening.
Pass.
Pass. Sanity
Yeah,
check.
I don't have to do a sanity check now
Nope.
because I already saw.
You've already taken in the horrors.
I mean, I know what I want to do next, but I'll let the
Who's
thing play out.
so Natasha, you need to reload.
Yes, sir.
The other two of you have still got bullets and
I
guns.
would like to level my Colt at the skull of this monster and fire one well-aimed shot.
When you say out the skull, do you know how close you're getting?
Well, I'm not getting any closer than I am.
Yeah, okay. So you still have to fire. Yeah.
While
There's
this
no
is
bonus,
happening,
there's
I'll
no
do
bonus.
something else. Do it. Iceland. Eastland.
I missed.
So as the shot rings out, this thing sort of dodges out into the tunnel bit. And obviously it doesn't dodge the bullet, but it likes to think it does. And it bears its horrible mandibular lower jaw, and it launches, and it goes so much further than any of you thought it was going to. And I think this is a dexterity check. Could all of you
It launches towards us.
Yeah, it launches towards you. Could all of you do a dexterity check? As whatever Bunyan, whatever you were doing, is still going to be able to be done.
That's a extreme success from me.
Extreme success from me.
I failed.
So I think Bunyan, what were you going to be doing?
Well, so I was going to be unzipping one of my fishing bags.
So
not subtly.
That was
but just slowly.
that was unzipped.
Yeah.
And what was your intention to do with that?
Well, I was going to be slotting the drum into the submachine gun.
I think as your hand is on the submachine gun, this thing launches itself at you, and you've got a 50-50. Either you swing the submachine gun and dive and shoot it, or you try and use the bag to try and do a brawl maneuver to encase it. But otherwise, it's going to get your face.
Sweep the bag up with my elbow and just choke it on the floor. I'll try and crush it into the floor.
So it's brawl or firearms is what I'm going to say.
Okay, great.
We're looking at
So I'm going for brawl. Which I don't know. Story wise makes more sense. Statistics, I shouldn't have picked that, but you know.
What is your brawl?
50, and I just rolled a 25.
Then you're fine. That's a hard. That's very good. That's very good. So you pin this thing, and you can see it sort of wildly struggling, and this is the one that made the noise, and you get an intense sense of connection to it, Bunyan, you particularly, and you realise that it's sort of begging for you to let it go and to let it carry on with its purpose, which was to protect its nest.
Yeah.
Because we need to protect.
But where's its nest? It's where down, right?
But no, it's right there. You were looking at where its nest was.
Yeah.
You also begin to realise that there may have been a secondary reason that it is not aware of. Its mind is not sufficient enough to be able to understand that the spore was perfectly happy for it to be there because of what lay beyond in the end of the crawl space. You can see its eyes. Its eyes are bulging and bloodshot.
I look at it under my elbow and I want to say, don't worry. Your larva will be all right by me. I don't judge based on species. Don't you worry. And I just want to pop its head with my elbow.
Okay, and a massive bloom comes out. So could everyone give me a dodge? I overpopped the massive there, so...
Yeah.
Fail.
67.
Ooh.
Fail.
So 3 spore. 3 spore for Bunyan.
Ugh.
Quick constitution check, everyone. This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect.
Am I 2
Oh.
spore now?
You're 2 spore, and so is Loman.
I've rolled a 0-1 on my constitution check. Does that mean anything?
That's a superb result.
Failed my constitution check.
I got a 23 on 35, so I've succeeded on Constitution, but I do have now like 3 spore or whatever it is.
Yeah, so 3 spore for Bunyan. So if you roll your 6-sided dice, Jeany, and then divide that by 2, that's your D3.
5. 3.
Yeah. So you lose 3 hit points. Could everyone give me a power check?
Yeah.
That's a success from me.
Nice.
Fail.
Fail.
So the success, Loman.
Yeah.
This is more intense. This lead rat somehow had a deeper connection. She was a matriarch of the nest. She was the mother. And she had made a deeper connection with the stuff that they'd eaten. And as a result, you are aware more of the shapes that came down from the stars
Oh, fuck that.
to look for the professor. Because the professor went mad when he first saw them.
Yeah.
He was encouraged to go and seek out a therapy whereby he would, in the very teeth of the madness that he'd confronted, Carstairs had said. And you sense that there's something outside of the understanding of this rat brain, but the spore was in the brain, and now that spore is in you, and yet where before you felt weak and like it was a threatening thing, now you begin to control it, and you sort of turn the spore in, and you go, no, I'm in charge of you. The other 2 of you get the opposite sensation. So for you, Natasha, the sense of being able to control the exposure that you had before and withstood, now you suddenly feel the terrifying sensation that this stuff is alive and it's moving independently through you. But it's okay, because as you turn around in horror, you see that Rasputin is there at the thrown open root cellar doors, and he stretches an impossibly long arm out to you, and he says, "Come, my child." And he offers you a way out. Bunyan.
Yeah.
You feel the spore climbing up into you. The spore that was in the brain of the rat is now inside of you, but you begin to realize that it wants to have fair say in everything that you have a say in. And that seems like a perfectly reasonable business proposition.
Yeah.
Maybe you could come to some kind of agreement.
Oh, totally.
And as you begin to think, totally, that's good, you begin to see that behind the spore is the maker of the spore. And they don't have a name that you would fully understand, but they are here now. They're just outside, and perhaps you should go up and talk to them.
Yeah.
Because that's what Winter did.
Yeah. And that's what, if these guys are that intelligent, that's what I've seen down in the docks. Those extra large, those ones they've not shed for decades. They just live in their little holes, and they just there's a massive moth in this room with me. But they ignore the traps. And this is what these guys are doing. They know they're as intelligent as me. They're building up a hierarchy. They're building a family business. I understand that. So I finished loading the barrel and the drum into my semi-auto, and I just leave my rifle leaning against the stairs, and I take one last look at the other 2, and then I just start walking out of the cellar towards the...
Well, as you take your first step, Rulyova, what did you do regarding the hand that has reached towards you? It's about 5 foot long, his arm. His hand's about a foot long.
As horrifying and mind-bogglingly surprising and gut-wrenchingly vile as the rats with the overpouring brains and the spores. It's somehow less disgusting to me than less frightening than Rasputin.
You get the distinct sensation that it's something other than the spore and this weird, threatening shape of things from beyond the stars in the context that the spore seems to represent. Yes. So would you take the hand?
No.
What will you do?
I'm going to hold fast to my shotgun and shoot in the direction of Rasputin.
You're going to shoot. You're going to shoot at Rasputin.
Yeah.
Shite.
Okay.
I want to do something to break this.
Yeah. I think so. Let's say that you managed to reload your shotgun in the time that all of the wrestling of the rat was going on. So you sort of panicked, reloaded the shotgun. I think probably you shoot both barrels, and there's the sound of many bells and churches rings, and for a split second it sounds like dozens of birds fly up, and Rulyova, you pass out.